Hello, beautiful. Thank you for joining us. Let's chat about some fashion trends that I actually think are worth investing in 2026. This is a completely biased video from the perspective of someone who values aesthetic simplicity. Number one is texture. Whether it's fringe or ruffles, texture I think is a really easy way to add interest to an outfit if you have a really simple color palette. If you are someone who wears a lot of neutrals, that can get a little bit boring sometimes. Even those of us who are real minimalists at heart and appreciate the simple things, it can get a little bit tiring. Sometimes you want something to mix things up. This is where trend pieces can come in handy to add a little bit of variety. And the good thing about textured pieces is that you can still get them in the neutral shades. So you can still have that generally simple neutral appearance, but you still have something that makes your outfit look a little bit different, a little bit new, a little bit updated. And I guess as a general rule, I would say that that is how you should use trends. Buying an occasional trend piece to update your wardrobe to make it a little bit more interesting when you already have a consistent look is the best way to invest in trends. Literary chic, poetry chic. This trend is basically romantic prep. So why? Because this trend combines classic basics with a romantic twist. Reliable knitwear, sensible tailoring with a slightly different mood. And even if you are someone who is not romantically inclined, this trend is not for you, I think it's a valuable study in how to combine different moods into singular outfits. If you are someone who has interest across different genres, this might be a great study in seeing how you can combine more romantic elements with more structured, classic, basic elements. How you can combine single items with potentially contradictory moods in a cohesive way. Silk scarves and silk scarf inspired clothing. I think patterned silk scarves are an excellent way to add a little bit of interest and variety to a very basic wardrobe. Great for travel. They add a bit of a romantic bohemian mood. So a silk scarf can be a very versatile and practical thing to own, even in a wardrobe that is very simple. They're very versatile. You can do all sorts of things with silk scarves. You can wear them around your waist, you can wear them around your hips, you can wear them as a top around your neck, etc., etc. And I guess you can improvise with a silk scarf. A lot of the pieces associated with this trend take silk scarf material and sew it into a structure that resembles how you would wear a silk scarf. You can improvise really easily just by getting a traditional silk scarf, maybe getting a larger one, and playing around with tying it in a certain way that will create those tops or skirts. Silk pants, bias cut and otherwise. So why would you add silk or silky pants to your repertoire? Because of the luxurious texture. So if you are looking at creating a little bit of luxury in a very simple look, fabric is a really simple way to elevate. Slinky fabrics do have more of a sensual, romantic energy about them. And if you travel a lot, I will recommend silk pants. They are great for the purpose. In terms of keeping your style consistent, if you are someone who likes to wear pants, trousers, having a silk pair of pants over the warmer months means that you can continue to have that look through the warmer season. But do be warned, the quality of the material of the pants that you purchase is extremely important. I would only really bother with buying either silk or viscose pants in this style. If you get a thin silk or a thin viscose, first of all, you're going to be more likely to get pulls in that fabric, but also they are far more likely to crease. You need to make sure that they are made of a high quality thick silk or a thick viscose. If the fabric is too thin, they are going to be see-through. And another tip I would give you is to size up on this style. You definitely don't want this sort of fabric, this sort of a cut clinging to your body. It might be a good idea to get a size larger than you normally would. If the fabric clings anywhere, it's not going to look good. This sort of style, it really needs space to move. Utility dressing. This is one of those trends that comes back every once in a while regularly. If you are someone who likes earthy tones, this is the one for you. It's a really simple way to get earthy tones that are a little bit more casual. So utility dressing is great for making things look a little bit more understated. You can pair a utility jacket or utility top with maybe a more elegant structured pair of trousers. In terms of being effortless, being a little bit understated might be the key. So this trend is perfect for adding pieces that can tone things down in terms of mood. Color blocking. Color blocking is almost always around on some level. I think the sort of big color of 2026 is teal, but of course you don't have to go with teal. I think teal is a challenging color unless you look good in green, but there are other bright, saturated jewel tones about. And I think if you are someone who generally likes to keep your color palette very neutral, very limited, having one pop of color a season may be a great way to create a little bit of interest and to stop yourself from getting too bored. I know in the cooler months, I tend to reach for a pop of color. I'm more likely to need it then. So having a bright red sweater could be a great way to make your earth tones a little bit more interesting. In this sense, I wouldn't necessarily say go and get different colors for different parts of your body. Choose one color for one part of your body that will work with the existing simple palette that you already have. So it's not really traditional color blocking in the way that it's intended. It's more about taking a pop of color and creating a little bit of a focal point in your outfit. That is a far more sustainable way to incorporate color blocking into a very simple wardrobe. And my tip is, if you are going to go for a strong color that you are not used to wearing, that you ensure that the other elements of that item of clothing already speak a language that you are used to. So for example, if you are going to get something bright red and you don't wear red normally, make sure that the shape of the garment and the fabric of the garment, the texture of the garment is something that you are already used to, because then the shock is just in the area of color. I would definitely not go with pieces that reinvent the wheel. If you don't like textural elements or details, don't start adding those pieces as well as a new color into the mix. It's just a little more risky, and it means that the piece will be less likely to be worn. I think in general, if you want to stay safe with a lot of these trends, make sure there is only one variable in the garment that you are purchasing, whether it be the shape, the texture, or the color. Not more than one. Finally, we have a trend color, gold. And why would I recommend gold? Well, I think metallics are the unsung heroes of the neutral world. They grab a little bit of attention while still matching everything that you have. I think silver looks so good with charcoal or grey. Wearing gold with an earth tone is a really understated way to style it. And again, it's something that's going to make you feel fresh and contemporary. And the reason metallics work so well with neutrals is because they are an extension of neutrals. They belong somewhere with the neutrals in the color world. And yet they are shiny, which makes them stand out. For this reason, I really do think that metallics are actually quite timeless. So they're safe investment pieces. I have no qualms about buying metallic pieces when they have their trend moment. And my big tip to you with this trend is to buy the metallic that represents the color of jewelry that you wear most, or the tones that you wear most. So if you wear a lot of gold jewelry, I wouldn't bother getting silver pieces. I would just get the gold pieces. If you wear a lot of earth tones, I would be a little bit more cautious with silver. I'd be more likely to go towards gold because they're in the same analogous field. It's just going to make your life easier to wear those pieces with the things you've already got. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know if you would like me to chat about some other trends. And a big thank you to those of you who have subscribed. I have seen the numbers go up, which is really lovely. It really helps me out. I really appreciate those of you who see the value of my work and understand that we are here on the same journey. If you haven't already, please do check out my other channel for slower, softer, more personal content with lots of pretty imagery. And my kitty cat. Yes, he has been down here the whole time. Say bye, Gary. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye.